Hello, and welcome to Squabble, a noisy quarrel about something petty or trivial. I'm your host, Carter.
And I'm also your host, Jacob.
And we did something bad, okay?
Uh-oh.
The plan was, in my head, to come out with a Thanksgiving-themed episode. Mm-hmm. Maybe, I don't know, what's the best Thanksgiving food, or like ham or turkey, something like that. Mm-hmm. But in my mind, Thanksgiving was a week later than it actually is.
Yep.
So
it always is, isn't it?
Yeah. But in reality, it was a week earlier than I anticipated. So we kind of missed our deadline. However, we are, instead of doing a Thanksgiving episode now, we are going to do a Thanksgiving leftover episode.
Yeah, because everyone knows the best thing about Thanksgiving anyways is the leftovers.
Right.
That's the best thing. And if you think that's wrong, then you are, I think, mentally insane. Okay, that too.
So yeah, we're doing a Thanksgiving leftover episode.
Yeah.
Which is
basically we're just ranking the top Thanksgiving foods, but specifically the top Thanksgiving foods as leftovers. Because some things aren't. Like you might really like turkey, but you might not like turkey when you got to reheat it.
Yeah.
So it changes when it's left over.
Yeah. For example, like cold pizza is arguably better than just like fresh pizza.
Leftover pizza is most of the time better than the fresh pizza. So
what we're going to be doing is like, and everybody knows there's leftovers after Thanksgiving. There's always leftovers. If there are not leftovers,
then you didn't make enough food.
And I'm really impressed with your eating ability,
or your family's eating ability.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is like, what's the best food to eat that is left over?
Yeah. And because you can also take into consideration accessibility.
Okay.
That kind of thing. There's just lots of things when you're thinking about leftover.
There's a lot of aspects.
Lots of things to consider.
So maybe missing our deadline was a blessing in disguise, as they say.
Remember when everybody thought that it was blessing in the skies?
Blessing in the sky?
Yeah, in the skies.
Who thought that?
I saw it on the internet. It was like a big thing.
Nobody thought it was a blessing in the sky.
I didn't, but I knew a lot of people thought it was blessing in the skies.
That would be
and I saw it on Twitter or something. It was like a moment, like a year ago.
Why would it be blessing in the sky?
I don't know. No, blessing in the skies.
Yeah, okay, either way, why?
I don't know, but it does sound like blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Makes
it does make sense, but I don't know. That's just what I saw on the internet. Man.
Okay. Well, before we get into the episode, I'm going to first
start the timer.
Yep.
No longer a timer. There you go.
And then I'm going to announce that we're gonna come out with.
Speaking of the timer, before you do this,
oh sure,
I have a funny story I heard of a fan that watched the show.
Okay.
They said we typically shoot for 30 minutes on average. What or at least of the actual meat of the episode, So I was talking to someone and they go. I was like, yeah, well, we shoot for 30 minutes. And they were like, they're just a fan of the show. So they just listened. They didn't really know anything about how we make it or anything. And they were like, but your episodes are 50 minutes. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, because I always listen to them in class and I can never listen to a full one in a period. So I think we just go over time quite a bit and never really realize it. She was like, yeah, they're always like close to 50 minutes. I was like, well, whoops.
It's true. They're always 45. Like, okay, I would say on average, like if you took all of them, with the exception of a couple being really short and a couple being pretty long, they're about 45 minutes. But we normally shoot for 30. We try, not as in like actually shoot with the camera, but we try to talk for 30 minutes.
Not get to. Sometimes we got to trim it down. You say something. Yeah. We have to. It's like a problem to get to 30 minutes.
And that's because we talk for 10 minutes before I remember to start the timer.
Yeah.
Well, not true. Me. I would say you're to blame too because you don't remind me.
That's true. And I have a phone right here that I could easily
you could start the timer, but you don't. So anyway, let me get back to my thing before we do actually go over time.
Yeah.
Because we try to do 45.
Yeah, so we apologize. We're shooting for 30 minutes. They always
30
end
to
up
40
being
minutes is the goal. but that goal is rarely gotten.
Yeah, I was crushed. I was like, well, you know what? Never mind. I take it back.
Let's see. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So we came out with a T-shirt. Last couple months ago.
Sweatshirt.
Last month, yeah. T-shirt / sweatshirt. It was really cool. People loved it. We sold a lot. Thank you if you bought one.
Yeah.
We love you a little bit more than everybody else, but we love everybody else.
Don't worry.
So we are planning to come out with another merchandise product or something, but we don't know, what we want to make, and we don't know what you guys want. Whether it be okay, here's the question: should we make another shirt / sweatshirt? Or should we make literally anything else you can think of? Whether that be socks, should we make buttons? Should we make hoodies? Oh, should we make zip-ups?
Maybe like a commemorative
hats. A commemorative what?
A commemorative token.
Okay,
we
mugs,
could do that.
Whatever you
a pen, not like a pin, like a pen.
Yes, like a writing pen. Yes, not an enamel pen. An enamel pen.
Both either. A pencil. A Dixon Ticonderoga. I think that's a brand.
That's my favorite
we
car.
couldn't make one.
So what do you guys think that we should make? Leave it in a comment. Send us a message on Instagram
or a comment
or Facebook
on Instagram
at Squabble Podcast. A little shout out there. Just tell us in person, whatever, and then we will take in all that consideration and give you a product that you love.
Yeah. Did you say socks? That was another thing we had up in the air. Okay.
I thought that was that would be fun.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, if you have an idea about what the design should be, tell us that too. We have some in progress right now that we're liking, that we're on the fence about, some we hate. So if you have an idea, give us that as well. Yeah. Now let's get into it.
We might hate it.
We might hate it.
Which means
but
we hate you.
We won't tell you that.
No, that's kidding.
If we hate it, we won't tell you. We'll be like, that's a good idea. We'll lie to your face.
Honestly, no matter what idea you message us, we'll probably respond with, oh, that's a good idea. But secretly, we'll either
But you will
it.
never know if we like it or hate it. I'm just kidding. If we actually like it, we will say, I shouldn't
We actually like that.
No, because then if we do so, just forget it. Forget what we're talking about right now.
We like your ideas no matter what they are. We appreciate you giving them to us.
Yes, because creativity has to start somewhere. Yeah. And it could start in a terrible spot.
Yeah. You have to have the bad ideas so you can recognize the good ideas.
That is true.
Abraham Lincoln said that.
Yeah, I read that on the internet. No. Okay. So the worst, not necessarily the worst, but so we have top 5 leftover foods. What are the top 5 best Thanksgiving foods to eat as leftovers?
Yes.
And
it's not. We're not ranking the worst. You said the worst one would be number 5, but no, this is the top 5.
Yes,
if we were saying the worst, honestly, this is going to surprise some people, and I'll give away something on my list. Almost kind of. Well, I'll give away what's not on my list. Sorry, I burped.
Is that turkey?
Yeah, turkey. Yes. That would be on the bottom of my list.
I think we're both ham man.
Yeah.
Hamman.
Which also is kind of a Hammond. Which is also kind of a controversial choice.
Yes, it is.
I'm not going to get into a lot, but I was going to put that on. I originally had a very controversial list, and I shortened it. I was like, ham is controversial because some people say that's not a Thanksgiving food.
I think the turkey, next year when we do actually meet the deadline and we come out with an actual Thanksgiving episode, not a Thanksgiving leftover episode, it will be probably turkey versus ham.
We'll both have to research on turkey because we both say we hate it, but we'd have to.
I don't necessarily hate it. It's just ham is so much better. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
We could change the topic right now. You want it?
No.
Okay.
That would be dangerous. My number 5, I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
My number 5 is pumpkin pie.
I take offense to that one.
Whoa.
Putting it on a number 5.
Okay, so I used to love pumpkin pie, but I've kind of recently I'm not into the pumpkin pie as much as I used to be. Not that I don't like it, I like it, but I've found as of last year, because I only get pumpkin pie really a couple times a year, maybe one at Christmas, one at Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Occasionally you eat some pumpkin pie during Halloween because it's October.
Yes, I do.
You don't get that much pumpkin pie,
no.
But I've found that I like it better if it's left over. It's
that is a way.
I know I don't like warm pumpkin pie. I know that sounds weird, but
it's
if
okay.
it's
I've had it.
Fresh pumpkin pie, I don't think it's as good as cold pumpkin pie because the pumpkin insides the flesh of the pumpkin is a lot firmer. And so
I don't think you ever eat it. Have you been eating hot pumpkin pie? I don't think that's really
Yeah, I've been. Yes.
You gotta chill it first, don't you? I don't think you can eat
I've
it
eaten
too
warm
hot.
pumpkin pie. Yeah, that's a thing. It's better if it's actually cold. And I don't mean like room temperature, but like you pull it out of the fridge and you cut yourself a slice. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. It also meshes better when you put whipped cream all over it because the whipped cream's cold.
Oh yes.
And the pie's cold, and you're like, this is just one cold, yummy dish. I'm not a huge fan when it's like a hot pie, you know, or a warm pie, or a room temperature pie. In fact, I hate everything and anything that is room temperature. I think it's either cold or hot, and that's how it should be.
I disagree with that, but I can't think of any examples at the moment. But
I bet you could find something that I like room temperature.
Exactly.
But I would say most of the time.
I think I have one, like chips.
Oh, you're not giving your number 5.
No,
you were thinking.
I just had to think about something that you would like room temperature.
Chips. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Chips.
You don't want a hot, but I mean like potato chips. Well, I guess if they're like fresh baked, you don't like a Lay's potato chip hot. That's gross.
That's true, but
like if they're freshly baked potato chips, I guess you'd want.
Okay, but
a hot one.
Most chips, the majority of chips, maybe putting aside Doritos, especially original Lay's or any kind of Lay's, are vehicles for dips. Okay, if you're the kind of person who eats original Lay's just for the chip, what are you doing? That's not to eat. That is to dip.
Well, I'm with you just for the original Lay's. Every other chip that has any sort of flavoring, eat it dry, plain, or even like a Pringle. You can eat a Pringle plain. But
no,
okay.
What? Maybe I hate Pringles.
Me too. I hate Pringles, but you can.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Most people are like, you hate Pringles? Or
you want to move on?
Do you even Pringle?
Okay. Number 5.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 is baked mac and cheese. I specified baked because I feel like that makes it a little more Thanksgiving-y. Because, you usually don't have just like Kraft mac and cheese at the dinner table. Or I don't, from my experience with Thanksgiving.
It's usually.
But the reason I put mine at number 5, it's like usually fresh baked, almost like a mac and cheese casserole. Yeah, exactly. But the reason I put it at number 5 is not because it's less tasty than the other things, but I think it would almost be sacrilegious to put it above that because it's not really Christmas food. It's not really Thanksgiving food. I mean, you eat it at a lot of Thanksgiving dinners, but you're not like, oh, I can only eat that on Thanksgiving, like you would be with stuffing. When else would you have stuffing?
I guess, but I would.
Or dressing, as it's called in many other places.
Yeah, dressing. But like dressing or stuffing, what should it be called? That's another episode.
That would be that's stupid. But yeah, the baked mac and cheese, I can eat it all the time. We celebrate everything at my grandma's house with a baked mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's like
it's a birthday, baked mac and cheese. Christmas,
baked mac and cheese. Someone died,
baked mac and cheese. Oh, Carter updated his prescription. Baked mac and cheese.
Yeah, I would agree. And I'm not.
Uncle Joe got arrested. Baked mac and cheese.
And I will say that is not a bad thing.
No.
I am 100% okay with celebrating anything and everything with some baked mac and cheese.
Yeah, exactly. And then sprinkle the extra cheese on top, Salt Bay on top.
Yes. Mm-hmm. However, I would disagree that I would urge you to up that baked mac and cheese on your list. I have baked mac and cheese on my list as well, and we'll get there. But it is obviously a lot higher because I already said my number 5. Okay, so you think my pumpkin pie should be higher?
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, this is why I think baked mac and cheese should be higher on the list.
Okay.
Baked mac and cheese is...
Don't say too much. You got to save it till your baked mac and cheese.
You're right. I will give you... Well, how about I just give you where my baked mac and cheese is?
Okay, but don't...
And then I will give you
justify it later,
Okay, my baked mac and cheese is number 2.
Okay.
Okay, and it's loved by many. Mm-hmm. Very popular. Like, mac and cheese is the dish.
Yeah, very few people don't like it.
Yes, like I don't know somebody who's like, mac and cheese. Like anywhere and anytime mac and cheese is served, people are going to eat that. Mm-hmm. And that is why I won't get into it too much right now.
Yeah,
we'll go on.
Anyways, you want to give your number 4?
Then, my number 4 is mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. Potatoes.
Number 4, mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
So I think mashed potatoes are mashed potatoes are really good leftover. I could eat mashed potatoes cold. In fact,
that's disgusting. That makes me sick.
What? No.
Makes me feel gross.
No, I like cold mashed potatoes. It's
and don't even say it.
Cold mashed potatoes, especially when you pour with cold gravy on
it. What is wrong with you?
Yes, nothing's wrong with you.
The entire audience is just like vomiting right now.
No, it's like it's in a Tupperware. Okay, saying the word Tupperware, let me just say something real quick. I found out the other day that it's Tupperware.
Yeah, I knew it was
it's
Tupperware.
It's Tupper.
You said BB.
What are you, 5?
Yes. You can go on.
It's not Tupperware, which is what I thought.
I thought it was Tupperware
I thought,
for a long time.
And not only did I think it was Tupperware, but I thought tub was short for Tupperware.
Going around being like, "Oh, hey, could you pass me that tub?" People just go, "What?"
Yeah, it's a tub.
Like,
you know, like a, I don't know, like those big
like
big plastic boxes. I think our whole family has always called them tubs. Like those are just tubs.
I think that's the big ones are just called tubs, not short for Tupperware.
I thought
just because it looks like a big tub.
It was just short for Tupperware.
How long ago was that?
Just like a week ago.
No.
Anyway, what was I saying? Mashed potatoes.
Cold mashed potatoes. You don't need to justify it. It's fine.
No,
I mean,
I
mashed
do.
potatoes are just, they're just kind of.
No, look, okay. So when I opened the fridge and you got all those, like you got stacks of Tupperware, and you don't know like what's what, like that, all Thanksgiving leftovers. You pull out one, and everyone's trying to warm theirs up at the same time. That's how it is in our house over the past few years. Everyone's trying to warm up something, after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And I don't have time for that. I don't want to wait around. We got one microwave, and that's it. And
6 people.
And our sister's warming up the entire thing of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
And somebody's at the counter trying to make leftover turkey sandwiches. And I just can't.
With a moist maker. From Friends.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Well,
we couldn't go this entire episode without mentioning that. It's like the most iconic
the moist
Thanksgiving
maker.
thing. From
You ate my sandwich.
Okay, yeah, now you can go.
My sandwich.
You kind of sound like it.
My sandwich. Anyway, yeah, and so I don't want to wait for that. I just take the Tupperware and I sit down and I eat the cold mashed potatoes. And usually there's like gravy is kept in the same container, and that's cold too, obviously.
Yep, it is.
And so
if it's in the fridge, I would imagine.
And it's a food that can be eaten cold.
It's a food that can be eaten
cold.
Wow.
Eaten cold. Oh my gosh. What's your number 4?
Not cold mashed potatoes, I'll tell you that. Oh, mine's good. Mine is green bean casserole.
Were you surprised when you read your list and go, "Oh, mine's good"?
Well, I knew it was on there. I didn't know exactly where. I thought it might have been number 3, but no.
Okay.
Green bean casserole. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this one a lot of people don't like, but I know a lot of people do like it.
I don't think I have ever eaten green bean casserole.
The reason I don't have mashed potatoes on my list, I meant to say this earlier, pause on the green bean casserole. The reason I don't like it is because mashed potatoes, I think, in my opinion, IMO, have to be perfect or they can't be enjoyed at all. Like there's either like good mashed potatoes are like really good, but then like mediocre mashed potatoes are terrible.
That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard.
No, I think it's like there's no middle. I've never had mashed potatoes been like, okay, yeah, those are good. I'm either like, oh, that's amazing, or I'm like,
you have tasted mashed potatoes and said you didn't like them?
Well, not that I dislike them.
How in the world do you mess up mashed potatoes? It's just a potato, and you just.
I mean, I've never had.
That's it.
I've never had bad mashed potatoes. I've just had flavorless, bland mashed potatoes, and then really good mashed potatoes.
Literally, the only thing that you need to make mashed potatoes good
a lot of butter.
First of all, the potatoes and salt. Okay,
and a lot of butter.
I mean, that's a bonus. But if you have the mashed potatoes, okay, if you have a potato,
if you have the mashed potatoes,
you got a potato and salt. It's good. Okay,
we can move on to my green bean casserole now. Anyways, green bean casserole, another one that is just really you only eat it at Thanksgiving. You don't really eat, you don't eat that anywhere else but other than Thanksgiving.
It's very rare. Even though green beans,
I guess you could have like
all
Christmas.
around.
Yeah, they're not really a thing. My whole thing is it just takes green beans, which are pretty good. They're one of my favorite beans, and if not my favorite bean, and it takes them up a notch to like the next level.
Can I pause you and ask, like, what is a competing bean?
Garbanzo.
Shut up.
And edamames. Are those beans?
I think edamames.
Those are my favorite. Edamame are number 1,
and those are delish.
And let me say, garbanzo is only up there
because of the name.
Exactly.
Garbanzo.
I've seen that.
That's what I'm going to name my kid.
What?
I'm gonna name my kid Garbanzo.
It sounds like a Muppet. Gonzo. Is there a Muppet named Gonzo?
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, yeah. Green bean casserole. It's great. What can I say? It just is better green beans.
I would disagree.
And also when that one comes to that's got a lot of reheatability, because you just like a lot of things that are casserole-ish like that. You just stick them in the microwave and put it on there. You can do it for like 30 seconds. So you take it out. It's piping hot. And you just chow down on some green bean casserole.
I've never been a fan of green bean casserole.
It's like casserole.
Well, I was going to say green beans, but then I've recently come to enjoy green beans.
Okay.
But I just don't like green bean casserole because it's like, oh, is this a thing of green beans? And then you're like, no, there's other weird stuff mixed in. Like, what? Like, no, you eat green beans with like, it's like a side, okay? But then you have this green bean casserole, which is like, okay, it's like if a sidekick and like, it's like a superhero and a sidekick. If the sidekick became the superhero, that would be stupid. It's like if Robin became like the hero and Batman was the sidekick.
That's happened.
Okay, yeah, but he doesn't, his name is different then.
Oh.
He like becomes an actual hero.
Yeah.
But like, that's not what's happening with the green bean casserole, okay? The green bean casserole is like, green bean in this scenario is Robin, and Batman is like casseroles in general, and it's like making a Robin casserole, and you're like, why? Why do you do that? Why don't you
I disagree. I'd love to just see Robin.
Beans?
I like Robin. He's a great superhero.
Nobody will make
great casserole.
Nobody will make a movie just about Robin, and therefore nobody should make a
just
dish
wait. Hey,
just with
they're
green
getting
beans.
desperate with those movies. It's coming. You want to move on to your number 3?
My number 3 is a ham.
Okay.
Specifically, honey baked ham.
I'm not gonna. That's true. Well, I'm not gonna argue a whole lot with this one because I'll be honest. That one was on my list. Yeah. I just couldn't bring myself. I knew I was gonna get flack for it because it's that's like the opposite of turkey. So people that like turkey will be really mad at that.
Hey,
so those turkey people,
those turkey people,
turkey boys.
You know what I realized?
All across the globe will be furious.
Our name for our podcast is similar to the noise that a turkey makes.
Squabble, squabble, squabble.
Squabble, squabble, squabble. Anyway, let's move on.
No, if you...
I shouldn't have said that. Ham. It's delish. It's way better than turkey.
Yes.
And it's okay. Cold ham, really, really
just
good.
Just good, yeah.
Hot, fresh, warm ham.
Really good.
Really, really good. Okay. You can do
room temperature ham.
Room temperature ham. Good
okay.
still.
Okay, yeah.
That's another thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. You can put the reason why ham is such a good leftover is because it is so versatile. You can eat it. You can eat just the ham. Okay. You can be like, yeah, for my leftover meal, I'm just gonna eat a bunch of ham, and everyone's like, that's cool, man. Or you can be like, ham sandwich time, boom, and you get like a nice roll, and you get just a piece of ham, and you can either eat that cold or warm. You can have a hot ham sandwich, and you're like, ham sandwich, boom, good. You can eat it like people like to put stuff on their ham and gravy, boom, good. It's like it's like if you're out of gravy, well, I'll just make a sandwich. You're out of bread, well, I'll just eat the ham. Like there's ham is the building block, is the cornerstone of all Thanksgiving leftovers.
I really can't argue with that. That was beautifully crafted.
Thank
beautifully
you.
Graphic.
As well as ham is.
Yes.
Beautifully crafted.
Beautifully crafted. I just have my only argument, because like I said, I agree with everything you said. My only argument would be I don't like turkey. I'm a ham man as well, but I have to put myself into the shoes of the ham people all across America.
You mean the turkey people?
I'm sorry. Yes, thank you for correcting me. Yeah. I have to put myself into the minds of the turkeyers out there and say, turkey's just more iconic. And that's a little sacrilegious saying ham is the cornerstone of Thanksgiving leftovers. That's a little risky, man. That's all I'm saying.
I will agree.
But I do agree with you.
I will agree that turkey is a Thanksgiving icon, but icons are just meant to be looked at.
Oh.
Yeah. And ham is like the hidden
gem.
The hidden gem.
There you go. Yeah.
And I think majority of people would agree. And now that we're talking about this, I think we should start a petition to make ham the icon of Thanksgiving.
No, but then you can't eat it. It's just to look at. You said icons are just to look at. So you don't want it to be the icon.
I will revert that argument when ham is the icon.
Okay. I really, like I said, really can't argue with you on that one.
Okay, what's your 3?
Did you say my number 3? No, I haven't.
Okay, then
my number 3 is, you kind of said this. You said yours was the cornerstone. ham is not the cornerstone of leftovers of Thanksgiving. Turkey is not the cornerstone of the leftovers of Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Rolls are this cornerstone of Thanksgiving leftovers, and that is why I have that as my number 3. I just lost all words.
You sound like me for a second.
Yeah, that was. Point number 1. They're versatile. You can use so many different
just
kinds
like
of
ham.
Well, okay, but like there's only one kind of ham, really. I mean, I guess you can season it differently.
You're saying there's plethora of different kinds. Not that it's versatile.
Yeah. For rolls, you got like the Hawaiian ones, which are my personal favorite.
Goodness, yum.
But I also like those ones that they have like you get these on a lot of like barbecue restaurants that are kind of like have in a shape of a muffin.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what they're called, but like you
muffin rolls,
like the Walmart, and they kind of like come over the top,
and
they look like mushrooms. That's those ones are second place. Then you can get like some really big ones that are kind of just like bread, which are also good.
Mm-hmm. Whoa! You're forgetting about crescent rolls.
Rolls,
Doughboy.
Doughboy,
Pillsbury,
Pillboy. I thought it was
Pillboy, Doughboy. Pillboy Doughboy.
Pillboy Doughboy.
I knew you had those Pillboy Doughboy rolls.
No, but those are really good. That's another. Thank you for helping my argument.
Yeah.
So mine is better. Not to mention, you don't even have to do anything to the leftovers for rolls, and you know there's going to be rolls left over unless I'm there. Then I eat them all. If I'm at your Thanksgiving, I'll eat all your rolls. But you know there's going to be leftover. You don't got to microwave them. You don't got to keep them in the fridge. You can keep them at your bedside table. You wake up in the middle of the night, grab a roll, eat it, go right back down to sleep, and it will have no consequences.
Okay. I didn't realize it was like
Except
a couple seconds over. I didn't pick up that you said by your bedside table. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, you could sleep in the kitchen if you really were dedicated.
That's true.
That's why you can't go wrong with a roll. Well, that's another thing. No one dislikes rolls.
You have convinced me.
Yeah.
To put that somewhere on my list.
Thank you.
Now that you, because I thought about rolls, obviously.
Can I make a suggestion? Replace ham with your.
Oh no.
Okay. Or cold mashed potatoes.
I will not replace that either. I will stand by that.
Okay.
But your argument did sway me. I was gonna put rolls, and I was like, I mean, it's just rolls, But after that, it's.
I guess
rolls,
you would probably replace pumpkin pie because that's your bottom one.
I would not replace pumpkin pie, but I would put rolls just above ham and just knock everything down a little bit. Okay. So pumpkin pie would get kicked off.
Yeah.
Cold mashed potatoes and gravy would be my number 5, etc.
Yeah. You can give your number 2 if you want. You
want me to give my number 2? I already did.
You did?
Yeah. My mac and cheese.
you want to talk about it now. I guess you want to expand on that, or have you
Sure,
said
I will. Mac and cheese is good left over because it adds like a whole new layer, literally and metaphorically.
What?
Because after it's cold, the top gets like this nice crunch, because the cheese isn't like melty anymore. It's just hard, and it's like a nice. It has more texture to the cheese, and you can still warm it up, and it's really popular, and it's one of those foods that doesn't stay left over for very long. If there's leftovers. True. The next day, it's probably going to be gone. Mm-hmm. And what does that tell you?
Because that's one other thing about mac and cheese. You can eat a lot of mac and cheese before it gets filled up. That's why it's great
one
for
of those
like pot roasts and stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those foods
because you can just get like 2 plates full of it and go back and go to town.
Yeah, it's those foods like, oh, I've eaten 1 plate of Thanksgiving food. I've eaten 2 plates of Thanksgiving food. I've eaten 3 plates of Thanksgiving food. And then I'm full. But then you can eat mac and cheese.
Then you just eat a 4th plate just of mac and cheese.
Just mac and cheese.
One more time, yeah.
Somehow you can't.
There's always mac and cheese. There's a mac and cheese pocket in everyone's stomach. I would.
Yes, that's true. And that's why mac and cheese is good.
And you know why people are lactose intolerant? Because they were born without a mac and cheese pocket.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, I really can't argue with that. Our again, same argument as the last one, which I already voiced my concerns about this previously, because that's my number 5. You can enjoy it all the time. Our family celebrates everything with a baked mac and cheese. We already discussed.
True. So what do you have?
New Squabble season.
2?
Baked mac and cheese. My number 2 is okay. We said it. Okay, yeah. This is my number 2.
We said it.
We said it. Well, that's why I was almost just skipped it completely because we talked about it. No. No, ham's not on my list. We talked about that too.
Sorry.
Pumpkin pie.
Oh yeah.
Which I will say my piece about pumpkin pie.
Was that a pun? My piece about pumpkin pie?
I'll say my slice. Hashtag say your slice. That's the way if you need to motivate someone, say your slice.
Yeah, that's like if you're afraid to speak up, say your slice.
Say your slice, everybody.
So anyway.
Anyways, my pumpkin pie slice is that my 2 slices. It's like my 2 cents. My 2 slices.
We're done with the slices. What do you got to say?
I've had multiple pie eating contests, all with pumpkin pie because we do them at our Halloween
You're going the
party.
pumpkin pie route.
Yeah,
I got you.
And I've won. I won them both. Well, I tied for first in one against you.
Yes.
You tied. And the second one, you didn't participate.
It's true.
I won.
There were not enough pies.
No, there were only 4 pies. I won them both. And I got to say, thank you. I won nothing for the second time. I won a Chick-fil-A gift card for the first time. And I got to say, that was a life-changing event for me personally in my personal growth, medically, mentally is what I meant to say.
But it would be a degrowth.
Yeah, medically, I
you took a step down.
Yeah, I took a step down. But mentally, I'd say spiritually, I had become a better person out of it.
Okay.
And that's what I have to say about pumpkin pie. It changes your life. I will say I am definitely a pumpkin pie man over any cakes. I prefer pie over cake any day of the week.
I am more of a pecan pie man.
I'm okay,
but I'm not a leftover pecan pie man. That's why.
That's one that's not a good leftover. Kind of like mac and cheese. Another argument against mac and cheese. All of these, you could say the taste stays the same after it's left over, right? Except mac and cheese. I don't know what it is.
Mac and cheese does.
Every
change.
brand of mac and cheese, the taste changes after you.
Yeah,
after you put it in the
hate
fridge.
Kraft mac and cheese leftover.
Yeah,
that gets.
But fresh mac and cheese is a little better, but it still gets a little whack, and that's why I didn't put it on my list as high as you did, at least.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give my number 1.
Okay.
Because I've been really wanting to so far through the whole thing, and I'm going to do a little Google search because a lot of people I tell this to in my circle that I run around with don't know what the heck I'm talking about. My number 1 is corn pudding, and I say that to people, and they're like, "Your number 1 is what?" I'm like, corn pudding, and they don't know what corn pudding is.
I think it's more of a Southern thing. So I feel like a lot of people we have that haven't lived in the South. Maybe not though. Maybe it's a Northern thing. Who knows?
Without giving you like the ingredients, I'll try to describe it by myself. It's corn, and it's got like a not like a. I don't know how to describe it. Let me just read it. Corn pudding is a gelatinous food product.
Yeah. It's really helping your kids.
Prepared from stewed corn, water, any of various thickening agents, and optional additional flavoring or texture ingredients. It is typically used as a food staple in rural communities in the South United States, especially Appalachia. Anyway, I don't know what to tell you. Corn pudding is just delicious.
It's really bad. I will say I did not on my list. This would be at the bottom of my list, maybe below turkey.
It's like corn.
It's basically just like corn that went bad, and they're like, well, we gotta eat it somehow. It's leftover.
No, it's like okay. So you have think about this.
I'm thinking.
Okay, you know, like banana pudding, like
I know
real homemade banana pudding. It's not just the pudding. You know, if you like get it out of the box, it's like just pudding. But if you have it like homemade, if someone like makes you banana pudding,
just love it.
It's like there's like banana chunks in there. There's like wafer chunks in there. Yeah. There's wafers on top. Mm-hmm. It's like got so many different layers of texture, and like it's so much better than just like pudding. Yeah. Because if you eat just like pudding, it's like just the pudding.
What's wrong with just the pudding?
Just like it's just the gelatinous part with flavor. Mm-hmm. But if you have like homemade banana pudding, so much
just
more.
Just the pudding, good band name.
Just the pudding. Yeah, add that to your list. So corn pudding is like the alternative to just regular banana pudding. It's like the actual stuff. It's got corn in it. It's like really sweet and delicious. And the reason I like it so much, especially as a leftover, is because I'm one of the few people in our family that likes it so much. Yeah. So I get the most of it.
He does. He eats basically all of it. My grandma, I think, only makes it for him.
Yes.
At this point, because nobody else eats it.
It's even better left over because like she puts like sugar in it.
Yeah, she adds a lot
really
of sugar.
Sweet. And so as a leftover,
why not?
The sugar has like caramelized and it makes
gives it
this crunch.
Sultry. It's caramelized.
It's caramelized.
Yeah.
It's caramelized. Okay. Yeah.
One of my number one is better than that
Delish.
by a lot.
Okay.
That's disgusting.
Okay.
It's vile.
If you've never tried it, you cannot.
I've tried it.
Hide it.
Once. We'll know if you haven't tried it. You can't hide it. Can't hide it from us.
Hey, don't say you don't like something until you had it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, there you go. That's what you should have said then. My number one. You can't hide it. Mine is, my number one is gravy. Now, let me say... Yeah,
just gravy?
Well, let me say, the reason... you might be thinking that's disgusting, just plain gravy. First of all, why would you think that's disgusting? Second of all, the reason that gravy is the best, you can name any Thanksgiving food, you can add gravy to it, and it'll be better. Anything on our list, anything off of our list.
Okay, wait, what about mac and cheese?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. Any of the things you said, you can add gravy, and it makes it better. Arguably better, at least it stays the same.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with gravy. This is kind of like our argument for rolls as well. When was the last time you met someone that went, I don't like gravy?
Agreed. And there's also several different types of gravy. So you got like
brown gravy,
white gravy, sausage gravy.
That's kind of white gravy, but
well, you can put different stuff.
It tastes different too. A lot of you can like have the same gravy.
And I've seen people just like they just get a plate of Thanksgiving food, okay, and then they just get the gravy boat and put it on just the whole plate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They don't even realize what is food anymore.
No,
they just see gravy, and then once they take a bite, they're like, oh, that's ham, and then they take another bite, and they're like, oh, that's stuffing.
Yeah, the best part about Thanksgiving is this is what I do every year. I get a plate. I just basically just get a scoop of everything. I don't care what it is, unless it's corn pudding. And then I just get the gravy boat, and I wait for someone to pass it to me because that's how it works.
Yeah, it goes in a circle.
Yeah, it goes
whatever
in a circle.
You want, you have to.
And if you're at the end of the circle, you get the leftovers, which is arguably better. But anyways, you get the gravy, and I don't even have to look. You just start pouring on the plate, and it's no matter what it gets on. You know, with a lot of things you scoop, you're like, I don't want to touch this. But
I'm
not with gravy.
I'm that kind of person, so that's why I don't think why I don't have gravy on my list. I am the kind of person who's like, this section of my plate is dedicated to corn pudding, and I have mac and cheese right here. Make sure they don't touch because you don't eat corny cheese. That's weird. And then you got your mashed potatoes over here, and I usually make a ditch of in the mashed potatoes for the gravy, so the gravy doesn't get on anything else. I'm very particular.
See, I'm not like that at all. I get everything on my list. I stick it on my plate as much as I can fit, and then I just pour gravy all over the whole thing, and I create a new substance, and it's glorious.
I thought you were going to give it a new name, but you just said Glorious.
Glorious is its name. Old Glorious.
I think that's all we have.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Be sure
squabble.
Squabble. Be sure to. Why did we do that?
I don't know.
Be sure to let us know about those that merchandise. Whether you have some ideas for the design, whether you have some ideas for what products you want. And we will be sure to do that. We might not do what you suggested, but we'll take it into consideration.
Yeah, we care.
Yes. Feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Squabble Podcast. We have a Patreon link in the description. If you think our podcast is good, feel free to show your love over there. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow because it really helps us out.
Yes.
You can also listen to us on iTunes, YouTube, or our website,
SquabblePodcast.com.
That is true. And be sure to check out the rest of the Squabble Empire, like Squabble Gaming on Twitch and Squabble Movie Reviews on our website as well.
SquabblePodcast.com.
Squabble.
There he goes again. Thank you once again.
Yes.
And we're going to snap you later right now.
Yep. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Snap you later.